Are memories sacred? Welcome to Philosopher's Corner. I'm John. Are memories sacred? So, memories are our brain's ability to catalog and recall experiences. And something being sacred is something that we set aside for religious reverence or in worship of a deity. So, are we going to set memories aside as something that's worthy of religious reverence? Or I might say, worthy of a spiritually important marker in life having to do with oneself? So I think that's a fair question. So when we begin with memories, which I think is a fascinating topic, because the human mind is so complex, the human brain specifically is such a complex piece of hardware in terms of processing and storage and the infinite ways it can be configured, the way that it can be interacted with. It can be interacted with just with basically, frequencies coming directly to it. It can be interacted with the five senses putting input into it and it registering it as the reality. And it can also be interacted with while the body's completely asleep and even like in a coma, and something in there which call it the soul. I have a different video on what is the soul, is interacting with it, where the body's completely shut down, minimal life vitals continuing, and yet the brain can still be interacted with by the person inside there in an experience that's, from their description, it's not that different than actually being alive and walking around when you really think about it, because they're basically in their own dream, most of them say, which means they're having this like visually representative experience, immersive experience that they're having inside their own brain. And if you recall, when you're in a dream, not only does it not feel too much different in terms of when you're really in it between the dream and your real life, which is why dreams are cool, because they kind of give us this ability to enforce our imagination into what seems like real life. But it's completely immersive in the sense that you can't tell the difference. And that's what a lot of philosophers are also talking about when they say that the entire experience is internal. That's you're just physiologically and everything, you're just having the experience in the middle of your brain, basically, like wherever the seat of the spinal cord connects in, plugs in with the old brain. So a person in a coma is still having like a reasonable version of reality occur that they're experiencing, versus an able-bodied person who's going around the reality. And here's the crazy part is they're both creating memories. Like those people that come out of coma that can recall the memories, not all of them can, and for some it's fleeting, but the fact is that like lots of them have been able to recall memories of their experience while in the coma, right? Which means that they're still making memories even in that physical state, just in the same way that an active person who's living a life is making memories during their waking life, right? So we're kind of doing science here on the philosophy, like a scientific observation, that even a body in a coma, and even a person going around, They're still both making memories, right? And they're both, when they're talking to us, other humans, about it, they're referencing their memories, and we understand that they're like, oh, there's this part of your brain that like is like a recording system, that your brain actually records all this stuff, and it knows which ones to put on the hard drive and which ones to put in the RAM, and how to organize it and file it so that you can recall the different memories. And the guy in the coma and the guy in waking life, or the girl in the coma and the girl in waking life, boom, they're still pulling on memories. And then it's crazy because if someone describes memory decently enough, you can kind of see it yourself. So you kind of get in a visual transfer, like visual telepathy. Okay, so now that we're discussing it like that, and if we think about it just in the common sense way, when we go around, we meet people, and we like to talk about our lives. When we're talking about our lives, all we're really telling people is the memories we've had. Every single one of us. It doesn't matter. Anything that we're referencing in the past is, we're really talking about memories. All the time. And then certain ones amongst us, we take our dreams so real that we share those with our friends, and we count those as memories, not unlike the coma guy. So there's all these sort of multi-dimensional memories, because if you're making a memory in waking life, that's like one dimension. If you're making a memory in your sleep state, that's a dimension. If you're making a memory in a coma state, that's a dimension. And there's all these other ones too, in terms of existentially. Like astronauts who go to space, that's literally a different dimension. So when they make memories there, they're making memories in a different dimension. And then when a deep sea diver, like deep sea is a different dimension. Like the physics, you can tell because the physics are literally different. Like being in a different dimension, we think a lot of times you have to go interstellar or intermolecular, but like really, like you go to the deep ocean, different dimension, you go space, even like just a little bit off the Earth, you're basically in a different dimension because physics all change. Point being, we have these multi-dimensional memories and we share them. And so when we're coming back to the original inquiry of our memory sacred, well, we're using pretty much strictly nothing but memories to chart our course through life. Life being this continual experience, like not getting into all but like in this dimension, life is a chain of events that just keep occurring, and we make memories of, and just kind of a loop. So in that sense, memories may be the most sacred thing that we have, because they're keeping a record of our existence and keeping us self-aware of it. And it seems to be the thing that we share with each other the most. It seems to be the most important thing. Having been a human now for 48 years, it seems to be that the most important thing we do with each other, or one of the most intimate things we can do with each other, it's not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's actually sharing our cherished memories. So I suppose we could say our sacred memories. Yeah, okay. Well, it's philosophy, so determine it for yourself. I like to think Philosopher's Corners, we're making memories. I'm pretty sure we are making memories together, and it's awesome to be part of good and great memories with other people. So, I hope you found this time here at Philosopher's Corner helpful. I always love having you here. Thank the memories. Yeah, the memories, they're sacred. And as always, have fun.